What is up, guys? It is podcast time. Killey, how are you?
I'm doing good.
You have work tomorrow morning, so it is on you on how long this podcast will be. And if you have to call in sick tomorrow morning or not. Listen, we got so many things to talk about. In case you guys are wondering, yes, we're still doing the podcast every now and then. Just because the game is out doesn't mean we're not doing podcasts anymore. So we got a bunch of things we could be talking about, but for sure we're going to talk about our new tier list for Street Fighter V. We are going to talk about a little bit about the tournaments and some of the players that have caught our eyes on particular characters. And Killey, you said you wanted to talk about some meta stuff?
Yeah, and final round as well.
Ooh, final round. Hype is around the corner. I cannot wait. I'm so pumped for final round, seriously.
Oh god, it's crazy. But anyways.
Okay, let's talk about some quick meta stuff then. Okay?
Okay.
I just want to talk about the shimmy. Can I start off with the shimmy?
Yeah, let's start with the shimmy.
Okay, why is the shimmy such a big thing in Street Fighter V, and why wasn't it really big in Street Fighter 4?
Crouch teching kind of killed the shimmy, I think, in SF4. I mean, the shimmy has been around since, like, the old fighters. It's always existed.
Since the Dark Ages.
Since the Dark Ages. And if anyone who wants to know what the shimmy is, it's essentially you're projecting a throw, and you're then moving out of that range to force a button or a throw from your opponent, and then you whiff punish them immediately. So it's almost a throw bait, but it's not exclusive to a throw bait.
That was a pretty good description of it. So like a common scenario would be someone sweeps somebody, they fall on the ground, you stand right up next to them when they're getting up, and right when they get up you walk back. And then if they happen to throw, they'll go ugh, and their hand would just be extended for so long. Or if they do a normal, they're still open. And then you just, yeah, hit them back.
Yep.
Some characters are especially good at doing shimmies because, like Ken, for example, his target combo, the Lion Breaker, or whatever the hell it's called. The Lion Breaker. Standing medium kick and standing hard kick, the uppercut. Some characters are just really nasty with their shimmy setups. Like, even the slowest characters like Bison can do a shimmy. He could simply do crouching light punch and walk back and do crouching medium punch into knee press. It's really cool. You know, Ryu does his target combo, and it's really funny how crazy the shimmy is right now. It's just,
everyone's got some. It's not even just exclusive to walking back. I mean, you see Daigo, he did like dash in, and then he dashes back, and then his backdash distance is so short, he gets he's right in the range of his stand fierce, right?
Yeah.
So. And that's his crush counter, so it's like huge damage.
I think it's a combination of throws just being so slow now, 5 frame startup, and the proximity blocking just like non-existent. It's just a different engine. It just works so well in this game. And like you said with the Daigo, when he was doing the shimmy with the dashes are just so burst heavy in this game. Like a lot of dashing in this game. Remember that Nash dash throw?
Oh god, I do it all the time, man. Yeah. I do so much dashing with Nash, it's insane. Yeah, I need to like control it. It's out of control.
Yeah, and of course, Lord Bison is very familiar with the dash.
Yep.
Especially online. Any other meta stuff you want to talk about?
Meaties.
Okay.
So yeah, now as we expected, since like the beta phases, meaties are super good in SF5. So everyone's crafting frame perfect meaties off of various knockdowns, and so that's how like things are developing. Before everyone's like, okay, how do I get a setup like a left-right mix-up or something like that? Now it's like, how do I make it so you got a block on your wake up?
Yeah, man. It's really funny how everyone adjusts to the new system, Do you want to describe what a meaty is?
Meaty, I don't know if I can...
This is a tough one to explain, man. I try to explain a couple
times. There's a lot of people who have different definitions of it, but I don't want to get this too wrong. But essentially you're aiming for the active frames of a move, whether it's a special or a normal. You want to right in like as the opponent is waking up from a knockdown, essentially, or not necessarily from a knockdown too. Even if you hit them in the air and they kind of flip out, you want to time your normal so that the active frames are kind of like on top of their character.
Yeah.
So that like they cannot push a button as soon as they recover. If they push a button as soon as they recover, they get hit by the active frames of your attack.
Yeah, so meaty is basically when you hit somebody with an attack that's already out and waiting for them, basically.
Yeah.
It's especially good in Street Fighter 5 because people like to mash buttons in Street Fighter 5. You know, you got your crouching lights.
It's kind of designed for that though. Like
Mm-hmm.
crouch, like your jabs and your shorts are meant to interrupt. They're more of like checks against your opponent's pressure.
Like a challenge.
Yeah, and so if you're not timing things properly, you're gonna get checked by those fast normals.
And I really feel that like if you don't use these tools, man, it's really hard to open people up. Like it's really hard to break someone's defense if you really do not use these tools. You because of the mashing and all that, right? You really have to learn that in this game. Frame traps, meaties, shimmies, all very important.
Yep.
Yeah. And I really like those setups where you do like air resets into meaties. Zangief is really fun to do with his crouching hard punch. You know, Birdie can do with crouching medium punch, anti-air.
Mika with crouch strong as well.
Yeah, you fall into it, and then there's
like every grappler has it. Every grappler has that. As soon as they anti-air you, they're like right next to them.
And it's perfect, right? It works perfectly because everyone's always holding up, back, or up.
Yeah.
Whatever. Anything else you want to talk about with the meta right now? The shimmy madness. Like frame traps are really cool too with the new priority system.
Yep.
That we talked about before. In case you guys don't know, if you two normals that collide the same frame, the stronger strength normal will win. So like if a light punch and a medium punch hit on the same frame, the medium punch will always win. So, it gives more leniency, it makes more frame traps possible. It's really, really cool.
Yep.
And set play is really
I think it only exists within the grapplers.
It hasn't really been explored yet, but there is still set play in Street Fighter 5, and I think players such as Snake Eyes have especially been looking into it, and it's really been helping them climb. Like, there is some small set play.
Yep.
Really figuring out what to do in every type of situation after you hit your opponent. Even though there is no hard knockdowns, there are a lot of setups in Street Fighter 5 that are, you know, still need to be discovered, right?
Yeah.
It's really cool, man. A lot of cool stuff. All right, you want to bounce right into the tournaments?
Yes. So, do you want to talk about Winter Brawl or Kane's Winter Clash?
Let's talk about Kane's first.
Okay, so the Kane's Winter Clash was in France, I believe?
I don't know. I'm going to say Europe. I'm going to play it safe.
Like, it was a European tournament, for sure.
I apologize.
I think it was in France. I could be mistaken.
Okay.
But anyways, top 8 was interesting. The distribution of characters. Actually, just to compare Winter Clash with Winter Brawl, the distribution of characters were very different from each other.
All around the world, it's different.
Yeah, it's really cool. I like that. So with Winter Clash, we had 2 Lauras, 2 Vegas, Bison / Necalli player, 1 Ken. Who else? 1 Mika / Ryu. That's Gutex. I'm just trying to remember. I think that's all I can really remember. Might have been 1 other character.
Okay.
So a pretty good distribution of characters.
Oh, definitely.
And the top 3 was, first place was Mr. Crimson with Laura. Second place was Phenom with Necalli and Bison. Third place was Ryan Hart with Ken. Gutex was like 5th, I think, with Armika and Ryu.
Shoutouts to Gutex.
Yeah.
Traveling the world.
Traveling the world.
Yeah.
So, yeah, pretty good distribution of characters there. So, let's talk about Mr. Crimson's Laura.
That's definitely what we should be talking about in that tournament.
His Laura was so ahead of the game in terms of setups with the character.
Yeah, he's really like what we just talked about, like set play and meaties. Like he gets it, you know?
Yeah. So he found, I don't, like maybe some other people discovered it, but like he really used it in the tournament. A lot of stuff I've never seen other Lauras do before. Maybe it's old news. Since I don't follow the character.
It's new for us.
Yeah, it was new for us. So some really interesting setups. Like if he does the medium punch bolt charge and he does the side swap, it puts Laura actually within range of her stand fierce. Like meaty stand fierce, super meaty stand fierce. So if they quick rise, he goes stand fierce, and if it hits, since it hits on the later active frames, he actually gets additional frame advantage to link crouch strong afterwards.
Insane.
and that's not something you can do normally. So it's a very specific setup. After command grab, he goes jab bolt charge, and that hits meaty. So if it hits, he can link into stand jab, I believe. I can't remember. Maybe I'm wrong on that one. I know that's just another meaty setup. I don't know if he can link anything afterwards, but it's really interesting. V trigger mix-ups were crazy. Like everyone knows that after EX Fireball, it puts them in a juggle state, and then if you hit a normal and cancel into a V skill, creates this kind of left-right game.
Yeah.
He did one where he did, and only in V trigger this works. You do the EX Fireball, you dash forward, go crouch, medium punch into the overhead V skill, and that hits so meaty you can link stand jab, jab, bolt charge afterwards, and it combos. It's like super crazy. The craziest one was in the corner. They took this out from the betas. Like every time you combo into EX Fireball, you hit a normal, then you V skill forward, you can go left, right underneath them. You couldn't do that at some point in the beta. But what he did was he goes, after the EX Fireball, he goes stand fierce. I'm sure you could do it with other normals. V skill backwards, V skill forward. And then he ends up behind them.
It's something about doing that V skill back and then canceling it to the forward one that changes it, hey?
Yeah, and I don't know why. You don't get a super good meaty setup off of it, but it is a left-right. It's the only way you can cross under them in the corner. So he like pulled that out just randomly one game. Didn't see it after that, but it's like totally threw everyone by surprise because like all the other times he stayed in front, and then this one time he like went behind them. We're like, whoa, that's crazy.
That's that round 3 shit, man.
Yeah, so he just destroyed the competition. It's like went undefeated basically. No one didn't get sent to losers at all. Just cleaned up there. But yeah, so that was kind of interesting. Really good stuff from him with the Laura tech, I guess.
Yeah, and like there is still a lot of people that are like getting away with unsafe stuff. Like he was doing a lot of EX tackles.
And that's really, really unsafe.
People were not punishing it.
Not punishing hard enough. Some people are just doing jabs. You can actually do like a medium punch starter.
Yeah. And like that's something too. Like when I learned too when I'm streaming, there's a lot of unsafe stuff that you need to like check it up later. You know, it's pretty overwhelming because you're just starting the game, right?
Frame data is really important in this game, I feel, anyways. You can play by feel, but frame data just helps you accelerate your learning in terms of like when is it your turn, and what can you punish with, like how hard can you punish them, that kind of thing. But yeah, this is a game of like knowing when it's your turn and how to take momentum away from your opponent. So that's always important. That's where those fast jabs and shorts are good for checking pressure.
And that's why it's important. Like even when someone's +1 or -1, you know, like FANG being +1 on his forward hard kick, and you're like, okay, it's slightly not my turn. Or if you know Laura does a tackle on you, or like Rashid does like his light punch twirl, and it's like -1.
It's -2, I think.
Oh yeah, -2.
Depending on spacing, but yeah.
Yeah. Like it's all like more about like figuring out whose turn it is. When can you stick out that light punch? And is your light punch 4 or 3 frames? You know.
Yeah.
It's really funny, and then also with the meta, fishing for those counter hits on the lights is really cool too, because you can convert into mediums with a lot of characters.
Yeah.
And it's cool because like you know in Street Fighter 4 you didn't have to worry about that because everything was a hit check.
Yeah.
All lights, right? But now it's like, is it a hit check? Did you get that counter hit from it or not, right?
Yeah.
And converting the most damage you can after these normals, it's really cool, man. It's like, it's simple, but it's like there is some deception.
There's depth to it, right? And that's what's gonna separate the regular players from the top players.
Yeah, those little things really do add up, man.
Yeah,
they really do. It's really funny. Do you want to head straight to?
Yeah, let's go into Winter Brawl.
Actually, Winter Brawl is like the biggest one. Like, you want to talk about like some Wednesday night fights and stuff like that?
Okay. So Wednesday night fights. I didn't watch the latest one, but I'm assuming Snake Eyes won again.
I think he did. Yeah. He's undefeated.
Yeah. So Snake Eyes usually like the top whatever players are like Snake Eyes, and Chris Tatarian kind of makes it up there too. I'm not sure who other ones. There's some surprises. I know there's like this player like Wednesday night fights. I think they get around 100 plus entrants on a weekly basis. I could be mistaken, but like you had this unknown player come out of nowhere. He wasn't really known in SF4 or anything like that, and he gets the grand finals with Birdie against Snake Eyes. So with 100+ entrants, I mean, he got there legitimately. Like, there's no question that the guy was skilled in some way. You don't just make it to grand finals without some skill level there.
Unless you use Tekkaman Blade. Or a giant character. But yeah, I know, I hear what you're saying for sure, man. It is really cool seeing like all these different. There's a lot of different play styles for different characters as well.
Yep.
And like I said, I think Snake Eyes like being undefeated and it just his set play is just so insane with Zangief. Like
he seems so ahead of the curve with Geef.
yeah, with like for example, like he really pays attention to the different ranges you're at with Zangief's pile drivers. Like if you use the light pile driver, you're furthest away from the opponent. And even if you use a hard punch pile driver on somebody, you're close enough to walk forward and do another SBD again. But if you use the EX version, it is the closest out of all the pile drivers. It does like hard punch damage, and you're like right next to the opponent for even like a headbutt. And Snake Eyes abuses it. Sometimes he'll go EX SPD into another EX SPD, and it's wild. And then he has, he already has setups where he'll like after his SPD he'll go crouching light punch into standing hard punch. So if they backdash, he'll get crush countered. And then it just goes on and on and on. Like with the Zangief V trigger, he'll suck him in and he'll go like crouching leg kick, jab, and just try to bait them from jumping and then suck them in again. It just has setups for just so many things.
He's got all these resets too. Like if he confirms into the V trigger, like he's already got V trigger V trigger activated, and then he hits you with like some shorts. And then he combos into the rest of his V trigger, which puts you in that juggle state. And then he goes jump body splash, and then you're right next to him. So it's like, am I going to SPD or am I going to push a button?
Yeah, and he pays attention to the stun. If he sees you're near stun, then he'll do the charge hard punch instead. And then you're stunned, and then you're done.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really cool, and just there's so much crazy in the Zangief. Like I can think you can combo his V reversal into super. Like this is wild shit with Zangief, man.
Yeah. Very crazy. He's ahead of the curve.
Yeah, he definitely gets it like right away. And there's a lot of funny other stuff like Vaya using Rashid.
Yeah, he's like, I don't know, he's experimenting with characters too.
Yeah.
Obviously, he uses Ryu.
Yeah, and for Wood is really good with Ryu.
Oh, he's crazy with Ryu.
Really abusing like the shimmy with the Ryu tire combo. Really playing Ryu how people feel that he should be used in Street Fighter 5, that really aggressive style.
Like this aggressive movement.
And I'm starting to use those standing light punch with Ryu. A lot of people, they think that standing light punch is useless, but it's 3-frame startup.
3 frames, good anti-air at certain ranges.
Yeah, so people are starting to realize, like, if you dash in with Ryu, you should use standing light punch because it's 3. And if you're, if you're gonna mash it out during like a block string or something, you should do the standing light punch instead. And then there's the counter hit setup from there, crouching medium punch into fireball, or whatnot. So, anything else you want to talk about Wednesday night fights?
Nope.
I'm trying to do this quickly. I'm trying to move this around quickly, but we're just kind of showing you what it's like. So. Winter Brawl is like... Oh, actually, let's talk about the Japanese real quick, too.
Oh, yeah. Japanese got some weird distribution of characters, too. Mika seems to be really popular in Japan.
And we're seeing this mostly from the Daigo stream, hey?
Yeah, most of it. But there's also, like, people who are uploading Japanese replays and noticing a lot of Mikas. And the Mika army is just insane. Their tech is just crazy what they're discovering. Like... So many resets with Mika, mid-screen and corner. And then they've got, I think someone found like an unblockable setup for super, for V-Trigger. And then there was like a recent Twitter post or whatever, someone doing obviously it like requires a lot of meter. It's like full 3 bars and V-Trigger. And it's like, corner combo into a reset with a V trigger that leads into a combo with like meter, and then it stuns, and then it kills. So it's like a fully loaded corner such scenario, and you're possibly dead.
Yeah, it's funny, man. Like all these different countries, and everyone has like their favorites in characters. Okay, so then Winter Brawl is when like the West Coast kind of meets the East Coast kind of thing, hey?
Yeah.
So the top 8 especially was really cool in Winter Brawl.
So
From what I understand, the top 32 in Winter Brawl had all 16 characters,
yes.
which is very crazy. So,
Maybe no Necalli. I can't remember.
really?
Can't
I don't know.
remember Necalli.
I actually saw that posted somewhere.
No Vega. No Vega. I don't remember seeing a Vega.
Oh,
in
really?
Top 16. I could be mistaken though, but I do.
16. I don't know. Top 32.
Oh, top 32. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
we said top 32, all 16 characters. So, which is, yeah. Well, we already know what our tier list is, so we know Vega somewhere. But,
Yeah.
Yeah, the top 8, that's really cool seeing Sonic Fox using FANG.
Yeah, he only made top 16 though.
He wasn't top 8?
No, he was not top 8.
Oh, maybe he got 9th place. I think
He got
9th place.
top 16, and then he went 0-2.
I know he lost to F-Champ.
F-Champ
I think he got 9th place.
and a 3K. So he got doubled Nash, basically.
But it was cool to see him, go
Yep.
to Street Fighter 5 and use FANG.
Yep.
Interesting. Moons using Bison was very entertaining to watch.
Very crazy dictator.
Yeah, definitely different than someone like Tampa Bison, for example.
Yeah.
Tampa Bison plays more reserved, I would say, and Moon is like really
Aggressive.
taking advantage of all those plus. Like Bison has a lot of plus moves. You got EX knee press, V trigger, EX head stomp, Devil's reverse. There's just so many things that are plus, 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 and you really gotta pay attention to it. Down forward hard punch +1, and Moons was just really taking advantage of that and just like really pressuring the opponent. And of course, Bison players really gotta use that V reversal a lot too, because Bison's got a lot of problems when you get on that ass.
Yeah.
And it's really funny. I really enjoy watching Bison play right now. He's very entertaining, for sure.
Yeah. And then we got Arturo and F-Champ with Sim.
Yeah, the 2 Sim players, one from the west, one from the east. We didn't get to see the mirror match though, hey?
No, but no, they did do a mirror match.
Did they?
And sometime during the tournament, not in top 16 obviously, but sometime during the tournament there was definitely, I think in teams, we saw the mirror match.
Oh yeah, and F-Champ won.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was during the 3v3.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 3v3.
But Arturo placed higher than F-Champ.
Okay.
In the singles.
Okay. Yeah, Dhalsim, like I feel like Dhalsim, he's getting away with some things for sure. Like there's a lot of like mummies, or the twirls or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
And even Moons was starting to see that. He's doing light punching it out. It's kind of like the somersault of Nash.
Yeah.
A lot of people use it at the start, but you realize that it does have weaknesses.
Mm-hmm.
And you gotta stop Dhalsim from doing that because he's so plus after all that, right?
Yeah. But I think North America's got the lockdown on Sim tech.
For sure, man.
But Tokido with Sim is very interesting.
Yeah, like the meaty slide setups and.
Yeah, so they do like forward throw with a jab, and then crouch medium kick, which is meaty, and that leaves some plus frames when normally it would be negative. So they got all this stuff. The way they use TK Gale for what was it, +13 or something?
Plus a billion. It's plus a billion.
And they use it for like throw baits as well.
Yeah.
So they like put you in a situation where they could be throwing, and then also they throw out TK Gale, and you're like, you go for the grab, and you whiff it, then you eat flames to the face.
The best is TK Gale into TK Gale.
TK Gale, yeah.
You're just like, okay, I better do something soon. This is gonna get really bad. And Dhalsim's got a big weakness too with the V reversal, his V trigger cancel.
Yeah. So
it just nullifies it. So,
if you have a strike V reversal.
Really? I thought even if you don't, like I saw Zangief and Ken cancel it outright too, and it doesn't. Both of those don't knock him down.
They're strikes. I'm talking about someone like Rashid, Vega,
I thought you meant
Nash.
like knockdown,
no,
non-knockdown, like Ryu and Chun-Li, for example.
Like Nash, Vega, and Rashid are passive V reversals, so they get rid of it.
Get out of there, kind of thing. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, so it's pretty cool. What else are we talking about? Winter Ball.
So top 3 was Li Joe with Nash.
Yeah.
Julio with Ken, your nemesis.
Yeah, my nemesis Julio. Julio's doing good. Very good.
And third was Moons with Bison.
I'm glad Julio is using Ken, by the way. Not just because we didn't have to see a Nash mirror match, but
yeah,
it's good. I like it. A lot of people were hating on Ken, including me.
Yeah.
And it's good to see Ken, coming back.
Well, they buffed him quite a bit in Phase 4 and then in the final build.
He went through a huge up and down journey for sure. Yep.
Exactly.
Yep.
So who else was top 8? We had 2 Dhalsims. Let's see, 2 Bisons, I think. 2 Nash. No, I don't know if we had 2 Nashes in top.
Did we have 2 Kens?
Yeah, there was 2 Kens in there. I don't know if it's top 16. Well, let me just list top 16 characters then. Birdie was in there. Let's see, 2 Kens, 3 Kens, I think, actually.
Okay.
C Junior was using Ken as well.
Yeah.
No Ryus, no Lauras, no Mikas, no Fangs, no 1 Rashid in top 16. Actually, sorry, 1 Fang, top 16. I think we had 2 Cammys. Maybe 1 Karin. I could be mistaken.
Karin.
I don't remember any Necallis, and definitely no Geefs.
Yeah.
So pretty good distribution of characters in top 16 as well. But once we got to top 8, a lot of duplicate characters. So that was pretty interesting. But yeah, like a very stark contrast in comparison to Europe with that character distribution.
So what do you think about Julio's Ken?
Strong, very. He knows like optimal damage, but he had a very bad habit of
falling for shimmies.
Yeah, throw teching.
Even the funniest part is like he's so good with the shimmy too. But
he does it. Yeah, he does it so often.
Himself,
but he falls for it all the time for himself. And there's like this is a bad habit since there was like a previous tournament before Winter Brawl, and I saw a match with him versus Jaewong, and Jaewong, like at the beginning, he noticed this habit of every time he moved forward, like he's trying to tech a throw. So then he just started doing the shimmy himself, and he killed him with it. Like every time he fell for it, and I thought Atulio would like address this for Winter Brawl, but he still had that habit, and that's essentially what costed him that Winter Brawl and Grand Finals.
Yeah.
He got shimmied all the time, and it worked like almost like 90% of the time.
Well, he put LA Joe into losers, right?
Yeah, he did.
And then LA Joe made the adjustment of playing more zony, I guess.
More zoning, a little less aggressive, and more. And I think he exploited the shimmy habit, and he didn't fall for the shimmy himself because Julio kept using it as like the first resort rather than the second resort. And this is part of the meta discussion as well. I feel like the shimmy is working a lot more than it should right now, and I think it's partly because of SF4 habits as well as like how strong throws are in SF5 despite their throw range. Right, so it's something that should have been like the shimmy being like a second resort when you condition someone with throws first.
Yes.
But instead of, we see less throws and more shimmies, and the shimmy is working when it shouldn't be working right away because you haven't actually installed the threat of a throw to the opponent by throwing them in the first place.
Yeah, there's a lot of high-end stuff going on, you know. It's kind of like when you watch like a high-end Japanese match or Daigo, he'll like really delay that frame trap to the most extreme levels that there's no way you can get away with that online, you know. Jabbed in your face, you know. We're talking like a 10-frame gap here.
Yeah,
you know?
He's just waiting for like days before he pushes that button.
Yeah,
it's like and it is like the sickest thing ever when you watch it because you're like, how did that work?
Yeah, we're gonna pretty soon start to see those double shimmies where you shimmy out, go back in, and you shimmy again. You know, like I can't wait to see that shit. For sure. Hopefully we see some of that stuff on Final Round because I'm going to have a good laugh on that.
Oh, it's going to be so sick.
So what do you think about, well, first off, like, it's really crazy how much burst damage Ken has. Like, Julio made some amazing comebacks using Ken's V-Trigger.
Like, with V-Trigger, it's like all of a sudden, like, 40% life gone for, like, V-Trigger and maybe 1 bar.
Like, it's like, so dangerous, man.
Oh, God, so much damage from that. And you're like, 1 bar with V-Trigger, and he's already dealing 40%. It's just crazy. Most people need, like, the V-Trigger and super or something like that to deal that kind of damage.
Yeah, Ken is explosive, man.
Very, very explosive. But yeah, his normals aren't the greatest. They're pretty good, but they have some flaws to them.
Yeah, like his crouching medium punch. I know in the guide it says his crouching medium punch was +2, but it's actually +1.
Yeah, there was like a mistake or something like that. It's brought up.
There's some differences, but Ken's standing hard kick is still really good.
Yeah, like he's got this good range and good hitboxes on them, but like if they're blocked, that's essentially the end of his pressure right there.
Yeah, I think people are too concerned about the V skill run into stuff Like you really gotta use it sparingly. You can't just use it.
Yeah, it's not safe in the first place. And
yeah.
I felt like the other Kens went unchecked.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there's a lot of like I see Kens doing like DP into V trigger, and that's like -5 across the board.
Yeah.
On all 4 versions, including the EX version, it's -5 across the board. So you can't let Ken players get away with that either. So what do you think about LA Joe's Nash?
It's strong fundamentally. I think he overuses Moonsault at times. But hey, if they don't punish you, then no reason to stop really. But I think Julio is the first person. Julio and Arturo are like basically the 2 people that are like, hey, you can't do Moonsault for free that way.
Yeah.
And I think that's when he shifts gears and changes up his offensive style. He's really good at conditioning opponents too. We all saw the Filipino champ match where he threw him 4 times in the corner, and then the last one he shimmies him. Yeah. It was like the perfect conditioning. Oh god, like how
it's pretty intense.
Like oh god, the conditioning is so good because you think it's like okay, he throws you twice. It's like okay, the 3rd time you think he's gonna try to bait.
It's the shimmy. They know the shimmy's coming.
The shimmy's coming. It's just coming. I don't know when. And it's like a 3rd one. It's like, okay, now he's going to shimmy. Yeah. Then you get thrown a 4th time. It's like, if I don't try to tech this 5th one.
Yeah.
And then he shimmies you, then you're like, no.
Yeah, man. It's the worst, dude. Yeah.
Oh, God. So demoralizing if you got hit like that.
Yeah. He picked rock 4 times in a row, and then, you know.
And then,
then he finally went paper or whatever. Yeah.
But I kind of expected L.I. Joe to do well. I mean, he was one of the original Nashes.
When we went to L.A.
Yeah.
And then the E3 build, L.A. Joe was there.
L.A. Joe, Nerd Josh, LPN, a couple other.
Going hard, man. Yeah.
That was the first public playable build of E3.
Yeah.
Of SF5, I should say, at E3. And those like L.I. Joe. Is one of the persons that stuck with Nash all the way through.
So there you go, man. Hella worth. Worth. Yeah, that's good. That's really cool, man. I really find it funny that it's like there's all these players, you know, talking shit about like how good they're gonna be. Like all these people are not gonna be good in Street Fighter 5, and just the people that are winning the tournaments are just it's funny, man. It's like unpredictable, you know. It's good, and I can't wait for final round.
There are a lot of old guard winning, which is good. But you still have a nice mix of new blood doing well as well, which is good. You want that good distribution. So basically, people who are fundamentally sound are winning, which is what I like. Whether they're new or old,
Isn't that the way it should be?
It should be, but that doesn't always happen.
Yeah.
Definitely did not happen in SF4 in some cases.
So yeah, man, we got a crazy mixture of characters all across the world. You know, we got like these Mikas, a lot of Mikas and Nashes. Japan, in Europe, we see a lot of like Chun-Li and Vega. You know, North America, Dhalsim.
Yeah.
Dhalsim, a lot of Dhalsim.
Bison,
Nash. Yeah, it's pretty wild, man. And then we're gonna have like the huge like everything collides at final round.
Yeah.
We're gonna see who is, you know, who's gonna be taking it to the top and basically make the very first big claim, you know.
Yeah. So let's just do the final round hype now.
You wanna do the final round hype now?
Or do you want to save it to the end?
Okay, we can do it now, Killey. If you can't control
yourself. Might as well, since we're building it up.
Okay, if you can't control yourself, go ahead. You build up the hype.
So basically, the player list for final round is insane. It's Zen, Punko, Infiltration, Mago, Tokido, Haitani, Momochi, Dogura, Goichi, Bonchan maybe, I think. Fudo is unconfirmed, Daigo is unconfirmed. Reiketsu is going, if I remember right. This is just insane. Just an absolute insane list of Asian players going down. I know F-Champ's going. I don't know who else from the States are going as well, though.
Probably everybody.
Yeah, it could be anybody. Final round's always one of those big clashes there. I don't know anyone from Europe, whether they're going down. Reinhardt went last year. He won final round last year. I don't know if he's going to go down this year. It'd be interesting if he went down. So yeah, I hope more of the Europeans would go, but I can understand if they can't or don't go.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I would love to see Alioun, because Alioun's just apparently has all this crazy Chun tech.
Yep. He
I would love
recently
to.
won that tournament too. Couple
Mr.
nights ago.
Crimson with Laura, I would like to see him go down to see what it is, how he missed it. So yeah, but it's pretty crazy.
So who do you think is gonna win?
It's tough to say. I think Infiltration has a really good shot, though.
The highest shot?
Yeah, not only does he use one of the best characters in the game, he's just like absolutely insane with the character.
Why has he caught your eye so much with Nash compared to other players?
Fundamentally, his movement, his anti-air reactions, and his ability to control the pacing of a match, and his clutch, like it's insane.
Mm-hmm.
And he like all of this on his stream while he's like joking around. So he's playing like seriously, but he has like all this stuff.
Yeah.
So like even him like non-serious, he does so well. Just imagine if he went like full blown.
Yeah, serious mode. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He put on the murder face. So might be another year domination of Infiltration, man.
We'll see though, because we'll see how he deals with the Sim army.
Like everyone has kind of been been exposed a little bit with tournament footage. Everyone has an idea of what they're walking into.
It's not just tournament though, like the replay system SFV and like all the
the replays. Yeah, it has been exposing some people. Hey?
Like everyone's tech's been exposed already.
Even Daigo with his Smurf account.
Yeah, man. Like just you can't hide it. You can't.
Yeah, man. Everyone's just getting exposed. You know, it's funny. It's funny. I'm so excited for final round, man. Yeah, it's gonna be nuts, dude. I can't wait.
It is truly the first clash of Japan, not just Japan, Asia.
So what is the date of final round?
I think it's March 18th, that weekend.
Okay. Okay.
So not this weekend, but next weekend, I believe, is final round.
Next weekend? Well, it's the 7th today.
Yeah.
So
it's not this upcoming weekend.
Yeah.
It's the weekend after.
Yeah. So mid-month, and then I guess after final round is when they show off the Alex trailer, hey?
I'm thinking they're going to do it during final round.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Last year they revealed the Capray, so this year I would hope they would reveal Alex.
Yeah, because well, we know Capcom is going to make an announcement at the end of this week, or sometime during this week, about an announcement. So they're going to talk about the new game modes and stuff they're adding to March. So if they're announcing that this week and then next week is final round, it's just perfect timing to show off the Alex trailer.
I really wish their marketing scheme was like revealing characters at CPT events.
Yeah, that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Because they get the highest amount of viewers, it works, and then we'll get Alex on March 31st. Probably. We'll see. It'll probably be like March 31st. We'll see.
I can't imagine them releasing Alex before final round.
Definitely not.
Makes no sense.
No, definitely not. And if they did, they'd probably ban him. Hey?
Yeah.
They probably would ban him.
Yeah.
I think so.
1 week, 1 or 2 weeks is not enough time.
Yeah, that's insane. But it doesn't change the fact that after final round, then Alex comes out, there'll be like month windows between these tournaments, and people have to adapt, right?
Yep.
Every month, man. Because after Alex, we got another character come out the month after. I really hope when they show the Alex trailer, we'll see a preview of the next character. Build some hype.
Little
like
hint,
styles, right?
Little hint of who the next.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I want to see those sunglasses.
I really wish they did that more in.
With Street Fighter 5?
Yeah, because you had that one time, like
with Bison, right?
Nash revealed Bison.
Mm-hmm.
So the first trailer revealed Nash, right, with the glimpse of Nash, and then like the Nash trailer was like hinted Bison.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, the Ken trailer hinted Necalli. And then after that, no more hints.
Yeah, I don't know.
And then they just dropped off. And it's like, man, you were onto something so good with these little hints at the end of each trailer. And it's like,
why don't keep the conversation going, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, wow. It made things easier for me because I didn't have to do breakdowns, right?
Yeah.
So it's all good. All right, man. Is it time for the tier list?
It's time.
People ask us for the tier list all the time.
We're only doing it because it's been requested.
Yeah. Gay guys, don't take this tier list seriously, please. We're doing this for fun. I know the game is out now, and we can, you know, speak our mind about this, but I really feel that like a good tier list shouldn't happen until after final round. But
yeah, because there's a couple characters that need more exploration.
For sure. So let's
Do you want to start from the top, or you want to start from the bottom?
Killey, why don't you mention what our tier list was from our last podcast? So this was after Beta 3? Yeah.
Okay, so the original tier list from Beta 3 was A+ tier, Nash, Bison, Claw, Birdie. A tier was Cammy, Geef, Ryu, Chun, Karin. B tier was Dhalsim, Rashid, Laura, Necalli, or Mika. And then C tier was Ken.
Okay, so Ken was at the bottom. Nash, Dictator, Claw, Birdie at the top. Okay, so looking at our new tier list, Killey, it looks like it's a lot different.
It's the top remain mostly the same. Bottom has changed significantly.
I'm gonna be honest though, like our B tier is we're really not sure where to put some of these characters. I feel like we could make some arguments on these, but let's start off with the A+. Let's go right to the top.
Okay.
A+. I think this is agreeable between everyone, including you and me, Killey. The best character in the game, I feel, is Chun. But our A+ is Chun, Nash, and Vega.
Yes.
So, do you agree with me that Chun is the best character in the game? Or do you think there is some leeway between her, Nash, and Vega?
I think there's leeway between her and Nash.
Okay.
But...
okay, so if you'd say Chun and Nash are definitely ahead of Vega. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
For now, anyways. More exploration required.
Okay.
But I think Chun and Nash are ahead of the game.
A lot of that has to do with the V-triggers too, Killey. Like, Chun's V-trigger is probably one of the best V-triggers in the game. It's just insane.
It's pretty good.
The
but right now
factor, the 2-bar activation is just nuts. And when you have poor Vega on the side, but he can still do some safe pokes into it, but...
Oh my god, Vega's nuts though.
Yeah. Well, let's just start with Chun. Like, why is Chun A+? You know?
Very strong pokes, really strong footsie game with her walk speed. Dash is okay. Throw game is strong.
Her forward throw is one of the strongest forward throws in the game, hey?
Yes.
Yeah.
Fireball is strong just because she can follow it, which is pretty strong as is. Damage output is not too bad. It's not the greatest, but
it's not the greatest. But when V trigger is activated,
it's like V trigger
overhead can cost you like 30%, man.
Like when she has V trigger activated, it's significant momentum shift because you have to be on the lookout. A couple, like if she outfootsies you and like whip punishes a few things, it's a lot of damage. It adds up because it's double hits on mediums and strong and fierces. Sorry, mediums and heavies, I should say. And then the overhead allows her to combo afterwards. Even simple pokes into activation gives her good damage output.
Yeah.
After it's activated, it's like a anti-air back roundhouse can lead to super. Stand fierce could lead to super. So lots of things to be careful about. So it's just like an instant momentum shift when she activates. You have to be really careful. But you can't block her forever, right? So you have to kind of thread the needle against Chun. So you have to be really careful. Good pressure, good frame advantage on her normals too. TKA legs is really strong.
It's not as good as a lot of people think it is, though. Like
you can counter her, you can anti-air her.
With, you know?
Yeah, you can anti-air her during it, but if you block it, she's like plus, I think.
Yeah.
So
it's another somersault move.
Very good throw bait material too. I see a lot of like Nuki in particular. He'll project a throw and then he just TK legs instead, and people are like with that throw and then he eat legs to the face.
Her V skill isn't the best.
No, it's one of the weaker ones.
Yeah, it's one of the weaker V skills. It's funny because I've complained about Chun-Li's V skill since the alpha builds of the game.
Yep.
They changed the trajectory of it. She goes more up, so it's better. It's a better tool for going over projectiles for sure.
Yep.
But it does have its niche uses.
Yep.
And Chun-Li is not an easy character to play.
Nope. So this is kind of why we don't see her win tournaments, nor do we see her do well in tournaments. She's a character that requires someone really dedicated to the character to do well with. It's not a character you can just pick arbitrarily and do well with. It's a lot of work to win with Chun. A lot of patience because you kind of whittle them away with normals. because she doesn't have like insane burst damagey output. It's just like whittle away with normals. Maybe you get a combo here and there, and then that's about it. And she can't like maintain offense, but she just maintains control.
Mm-hmm.
So she kind of, it's like more of attrition she wins.
With that being said, like A+ in this on the R tier list is like it's nothing to do with like the characters.
She's not
being
OP.
Easy to play. There's no like OP. The tier
Basically,
list is so condensed in this game.
We break our tier list down from A plus to C, and I feel like it's super condensed. So even though you have A plus to C, it is condensed enough where any one of these characters can win a tournament at the moment.
Easily. I'm also like it's also important for us like the way we come up with these like grades is that we try to think about matchups. Who has the best matchups?
Who has the most best matchups? Who has the most bad matchups, and in between, and go from there.
That's how we try to figure it out because there's tier list is always subjective. Yeah, so. And it's interesting to see what other people think too. You can make arguments for a lot of these things, but I feel like Chun is. Like, every tier list I've seen, everyone agrees that Chun is on the top.
Yep.
And it's funny, on our tier list, we had Chun, like, really low, and then she's slowly moving up, and you start to
We had her at
see
A last time, right?
Yeah,
so.
she was just... But I think we said you can argue that she was A+.
Yeah.
But, yeah. She's definitely A+. Let's move on to your boy.
My boy Nash.
Why is Nash up there? I thought Nash sucks.
He was the worst in Phase 1, or E3.
What a crazy journey you went through.
Yeah, but it was worth it.
Yeah.
Nash from beginning to now.
Yeah.
So remain loyal to the character.
So why is Nash A+?
Strong normals. You have to space them right, but they're strong. So he's like a wall.
Yeah.
His zoning game is insane. He's just very versatile. Like he can play the zoning game.
Character's projectile. That's not a charge.
Almost the charged character's projectile. Usually charged projectile characters are fast startup, fast recovery, but they have to be charged, which is where the slowdown comes. Him is like slow startup, fast recovery, like almost instant.
I see what you're saying, yeah. And the speed of the projectile is just it complements his moveset so well.
It varies so drastically between the three. One's like super fast, one's slow, one's like in between. But it complements his like tool set with his normals. He has probably like an anti-air for every situation possible. So his zoning, his like zoning and his normals allow him to play the slow game of like keeping you away. You like try to jump over, he anti-airs you because he has like an anti-air for every situation. Doesn't matter what point in the screen, he'll anti-air you. If you're on point, it's actually hard to be on point for that sometimes. And picking the right anti-air normal for the situation. So yeah, he can like play this space control game that you just cannot break. Like he just forces you in this obstacle course and beats you to it. But then it's like all of a sudden he shifts to offense and he's in your ass. And then you're like, how do I stop this offense? Because you don't know when to push buttons because a lot of his buttons are plus on block. When he's up close anyways. But then it's like, okay, and then all of a sudden he's just backs off, and now he's like a brick wall at this mid-range game with like forward roundhouse, forward fierce, whatever. All right, and he's just keeping you at bay, and then he backs off even further, and now you're back to zoning. And then all of a sudden it's like he dashes in and he's in your face because his dash covers half the screen, and it's fast, 17 frames. So it's like he is just versatile. At any point, right, he shifts his game plan at any point of a match, and depending on where he is on the screen. And it's such a sudden shift that it throws people off. So it's like if you can go aggressive, and then you're back to zoning, back to like space control, and then it's like, oh, I can't deal with this. And he has significant favorable matchups, especially against a couple grapplers.
Like his EX Sonic Boom just gives him so much plus.
Oh yeah.
The EX Somersault just gives him free pressure if they don't stop it before it happens. His V trigger can like get him out of the corner. Like this can be stopped, right? But
yeah,
a lot of people are not stopping this right now, and it's just allowing Nash to just stomp everybody.
Well, both his V reversal and his V trigger are strong. and versatile. Like V-Trigger is an instant punish on a lot of like slow moves, but then it's also an escape tool. It's also like a defensive punish against some offensive mix-ups and stuff like that. Like, let's take Karin. Any sort of like with her V-Trigger, any sort of offensive follow-up, Nash can punish straight up with V-Trigger.
Really?
Yeah. He'll just go back V-Trigger and he'll punish every offensive option that Karin has off of Ken.
Wow. That's pretty nutty.
Yeah. But then it's also a combo extender, and it's like, next thing you know, you're eating super, and it's like, there goes all your life.
Super is really good, too.
Yep.
Nash, man. Crazy. So you feel like Chun and Nash are tied
Yep.
for top 2. I could see that. Let's move on to
Vega. My other...
your other boy?
My other boy.
Your other boy. Vega, we've always had Vega at the top, hey? In all of our lists.
Very, very
he's
strong.
always been. I think he's one of the only characters that always have been up there.
Yep.
You just cannot sleep on the fact that Vega is a super fast character with super fast normals. Like,
the fact that he's not a charged character is what probably puts him at this level. Okay. If he was a charged character, it'd drop him down a little bit.
Yeah, just like Nash.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, it allows him so much freedom, basically.
Because he can move forward. And he doesn't have to worry about it maintaining charge for anything. He just moves forward.
Yeah, Vega, I don't know, man. What is there to talk about Vega? Just about being so good.
Like, Vega is so dominant in footsies, it's insane. That stand strong and crouch strong are just ridiculous. And now he has reliable anti-airs, which was a huge weakness of his in SF4. But he's got 3 reliable anti-airs at certain spacing. Air throw, crouch fierce, and stand roundhouse. Stand roundhouse in particular is really crazy because it's his crush counter normal. So if you crush counter someone as an anti-air, you get free EX Barcelona. And if you have V-Trigger, you can combo afterwards into V-Trigger. Or if you have Super, you can just go crush counter stand roundhouse Super.
Can you just do that on the stream, please, so I can see it?
I did it on the stream before. Not the Super, but the what's it called? The EX wall dive.
During the Friday Night Madness?
Yeah.
Oh, man. I missed out.
So, yeah, it's super crazy. And then his whiff punish, like, when Vega is fully stocked with V-Trigger and Super, it is so scary for
Danger
the
mode.
It is so scary because his footsie game is so strong that a single whiff punish is V-Trigger, Super. And there goes, like, 50% of your life. 40 to 50%. And it's like, single-handedly, it will win him the game. Like, he has
coast to coast and you're bodied.
Yeah, it's just, he just has so much comeback potential because of that.
Yeah.
So, like, when he's fully stocked, it's just, your footsie game has to be so on point because one little mistake and Vega eats, like, all your life. Just cannot afford that. His throw game is really strong because of his walk speed, which makes his shimmy game even stronger. And that's another thing that's scary when he's got V-Trigger because it's like throw, shimmy, hits you, V-Trigger, Super.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my god, this is the character is nuts. I feel we don't see enough Vegas right now, but if people realize how good Vega is,
do you think Vega is like a hard character to play, or you think people just don't know how to play him properly? I
think it's just people have different styles of Vega because the clawless debate is constant. And it's based on personal preference, but there's also optimal situations where you want one or the other. And I think that's where people are exploring Vega more.
Okay. Vega wasn't always like the most popular character, right?
He wasn't.
Maybe people don't know like that he really is different in Street Fighter V. You know, people didn't like not having an anti-air and having the charge all the time, right?
Yeah.
But now Vega he's really good. Not like ST good, but like he's up there.
He has very. I think one of the things that holds him back is the fact that claw and clawless. The difference between the two, you don't get all your tools with both. Right? You have to actively decide on which one you want, and when you're forced without claw, your footsie game goes down a little bit because your range is not as good. But your offensive goes up because you get all your special cancels.
Like Nash can't cancel from that crouching medium kick, man.
Nope. He would be insane if he could.
All right, so A tier. Looking at our A tier, I feel pretty good about this one. Like, how do you feel about our? We only got 3 characters for A. I feel really good about 2 of them for sure.
Yeah, I'm solid with these 3.
Okay, so A tier we have Dhalsim, Dictator, and Birdie. I feel really good about having Dhalsim and Dictator as A. I feel like these characters are excellent, but they do have some important weaknesses. I guess we can start with Dhalsim. Dhalsim is crazy. He's like, he could be Magneto. He could just rush you down, and then when he gets an insane life lead, he could decide to just be Dhalsim instead, and then zone you out and whittle you down. The amount of setups people are finding them, they're really accelerating the character's growth and exploring him and find all these crazy setups. But Dhalsim does have some key weaknesses. Like, for one, you do not want to make a mistake with Dhalsim, or you're just gonna explode. Explosion. Right? Explosion.
All the fire.
You gotta treat it like, you gotta treat it like an explosive. You cut the wrong wire and you're just gonna explode in your face. Low stun, low health. You can't deny that, right?
Yeah.
And an input error can be your death. If you screw up on one TK teleport, you're gonna float like a goofball, and you might as well salute while you're in the air, because you're gonna eject. Like, you're gonna get launched to the moon. You're done. You're just gonna hold that out. You know what I mean? You're finished. Everyone watching the stream is gonna cover their eyes because they don't want to see it. It's gonna be a disaster. And you open it, and Dhalsim's just lying on the ground.
or if they block your instant overhead.
Oh man, you literally have 10 years to figure out how you want to kill him. That's the worst, dude. Oh my god. Yeah.
Oh man, just that one mistake, and you're just like, well, I gambled and lost.
Yeah, well, GG. it was fun. Yeah, Dhalsim. I feel like it's just that these little weaknesses and his absolutely insane amount of execution required to play this character holds it back from that A+. It's just, he's really hard to use, man. Honestly, like, the amount of execution you need to constantly do this teleporting shit and the TKs and all of that, definitely the most execution of all the characters, I feel.
Yeah, you can't even screw up in TK Gale. You screw up in TK Gale, that's another one where you salute.
It's gonna be a TK loses the game, yeah. Like, it's just the worst because Dhalsim's jump is so bad, It's just, you float up in the air.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to talk about Dhalsim?
Nope.
Okay. Dictator, A. Bison is absolutely insane. He's got so many special moves that are plus and normals that are plus threes and stuff, and his dash obviously is very good, especially online. And but Dictator does have some key weaknesses, especially his defense is terrible. He has no reversals, and he in high end play, it seems like a lot of the time you gotta spend your V gauge on V reversals just to stay alive. I feel like he's a crazy momentum character. When he's on the offense and he gets to maintain his V trigger and use it, he is super scary with insane burst and comeback factor. Yeah, Bison can be cheap, and he should be because he's a boss character.
Yep.
And I think his design is really good. I was kind of iffy on the, giving him the Inferno and the Psycho Blast. I felt like these moves were not really fleshed out too well. They're kind of weird, but I'm starting to see it now. I'm starting to see it.
Well, changing Psycho Inferno to a motion was huge, and that made it much more useful.
Yeah, for sure. Now it's like good combo filler, and then the cancels are easier, especially when you're crossing up and stuff.
Yep.
And then, like I said, making it so Dictator doesn't have to charge now. While
like
doing
you can play
combos,
offense.
Like Necalli, when his V trigger is activated, you can do some crazy stuff with Dictator. You can activate, dash behind the opponent, and you can go crushing light punch, standing light punch into Devil's Reverse instantly because you don't have to charge anymore, and you're doing all this crazy stuff, and Devil's Reverse is an overhead. And it comes up pretty fast, man, and it's even, and if it's EX version, you're plus, and it's really wacky. You could do the Devil's Reverse really close to the opponent, and then you could throw them, and then, let the games begin. His crush counters are just devastating. Yeah, Bison.
I think he has the most devastating crush counters. Like, it's not like in terms of the damage, but it's like when you get hit by Bison's crush counter, it just feels so bad.
Yeah, his hard kick is +3.
You're just like, oh, or down forward fears. You get hit by that as a crush guy. You're like, oh.
Yeah, like Bison, he goes standing hard kick, and you block, and he's +3, and he's like, okay, I'm gonna go for another standing hard kick. You know what I mean? Like, it's so scary, dude. And then you got the dash, and you know, there's a moment in time where you can't really tell what he's gonna do when he's dashing in, and it's scary, man. Like I said, I think, yeah, the only thing holding Dictator back from A+ is just terrible defense.
His defensive options. Doesn't have as reliable of an anti-air. He's got anti-air options, but they're not.
If you stay on Bison's ass, man, he's just, he falls apart. But definitely momentum-based character, for sure. Birdie. So why is Birdie in A? Like, why do we feel like he's not in B?
Strong normals, super high damage output, so gives him really good comeback factor, especially
easy to use. I feel like Birdie's very easy to use.
Yep. Just very strong tool set.
Can convert like almost all of his specials into V trigger, like Bison can. You know, into insane burst. Don't get, you know, there is some gimmicky stuff Birdie players do, like they're getting away with a lot of you know, the jumping grab. What is it called? Bull Revenger or something?
I don't remember.
The EX version is like impossible to stop.
It's so hard to react.
You literally have to, like, you know, pre-jump that. But yeah, it's just, you know, Birdie doesn't have to do that shit though. He could just be a wall and whittle you down. Got just great confirms, you know. Just
like we see Crusher right now. Yeah. Apparently this Crusher guy is an old school Alpha 3 Japanese player.
You were showing me some of those matches, Killey.
So he's like this old school Sodom player from Alpha 3.
Who's that? No, I'm just kidding.
He's just a crazy player. And then all of a sudden he's like, apparently he just comes out of the woodwork here for SF5 and he's dominating with Birdie right now.
Just an amazing anti-air that puts you into a very bad situation.
See, Birdie is a character you want to jump in on, but also the one character you do not want to jump in on.
I know, right? It's scary, man.
All of his tool set makes you want to jump in on him, right? Like his normals and stuff like that, and like his chains and stuff. It's like, okay, the weaknesses to some of his stuff is to jump.
Yeah.
But then it's also like the one character you don't want to jump because that crouch medium punch is so good as an anti-air, and then he leaves him right point blank, so you're guessing between a meaty normal or a command grab.
Yeah.
Or if you block it, it's like tick command grab, and you're like, oh man, when do I get out? And it's like never jumping on Birdie.
Exactly. His V skill is quite good too, actually. And you can cancel his V skill into V trigger, and just Birdie's. I've always felt he was up there, and he's just a really effective character. Really good character.
Banana is amazing at space control, and then when he activates V-Trigger, it's like his walk speed is so fast, and you're like, oh my god. It's just so scary when he has V-Trigger activate. It lasts so long, right? Because it only depletes when he does Bullhead or something like that.
Yeah, right? Bullhead.
And he's only going to do Bullhead as either a hard raid for the armor or combo.
Yeah, Bullhead and Bullhorn both depleted, but he can still, one of the only characters, I think he's the only character that can use his V skill to keep his V trigger up.
Yeah, he's the only one that does that.
Then he gets the movement speed.
The movement speed is huge. Like the movement speed coupled with the increased damage output, like the damage buff he gets, is significant because now his footsies go up even tenfold, right?
Yeah.
Like his footsies are already crazy with how good his normals are, but now you give him the movement speed to back that up even further, and it's just like, and the damage buff. So it's like it depletes slowly because he's not using the special. So then if he just plays footsies and stuff like that, and he just hits you a couple times, it's just like, oh my god, the damage, and then he cancels into his special. It's like, there goes all your life. Not to mention, like, he hits you with a special into super, and so the damage is insane. What is that, 60%? Can't remember. It's just insane damage.
It's a lot. Birdie's defense, like, his normals are really good defensive options, but, like, I mean, like, when he's knocked down, like, his reversal options, they're not the best. He's got armored moves.
They're better than Mika's and Laura's, in my opinion, because at least with his armor moves, they're frame 1 armor. Or close to it. Like they're like their armor really early. Unlike Mika and Laura, where they're not like instantly armor. It takes them a while before they gain their armor properties. So a proper meaty will beat that. But like the same meaty setup that you could use on those two do not work on Birdie because he's armor like almost right away.
Yeah.
If not right away.
So he's better, like he's got like than the grapplers like Zangief too, right? Mika, Laura, like he's got some reversal options.
Yep.
That could lead into V trigger.
And
That could lead
his
into dying.
charge punch thing is invincible in startup, I think, right?
The bull horn where he goes
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
I think I think so.
Like it's slow startup. It might be invincible. I don't know, but
Yeah, I don't know for
it's
sure.
like at least he has
It's
like
been a
some
long time since I played Birdie.
like some reversal options available to him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. Okay, so that's our A. So B, we got a whole bunch of characters. So we'll just kind of briefly go through them. But our B is.
Do you want to list all the characters, or do you want to go one at a time?
We'll go one at a time, okay?
Yeah.
We'll go by them quick. So Ryu is at B. So a lot of people might argue that he could be A.
He has the potential to be A, but it's based on player, not necessarily just character.
Like, I think Ryu's got a high ceiling, like, don't you? Like,
yeah, the V skill is what really
is
like.
what makes or breaks the character, you know?
Yeah.
The V skill does have some weaknesses, you know. The
It's got a lot of
startup,
weaknesses.
3-frame startup,
Counter
hit, the recovery. You can even kill. Did you know that when you're parrying like a multi-hit move and then you get hit during that, you can get hit out of it? Like it doesn't. You know, in Third Strike when you're like parrying something, if you get hit something in between, it'll just keep parrying it. But in this game, it won't. Like let's say you're like parrying like Aegis Reflector, and then you get hit during the Aegis Reflector in between. All of a sudden, you just double parry real fast, or just be one parry that's 2 attacks.
Yeah.
But in Street Fighter V, if Ryu's parrying something, like say another Ryu does a super on you, and you parry the whole thing, and then Ryu like does a sweep in between that, it'll knock you out of it. Like like you can't parry multiple attacks.
2 attacks at the same time.
Yeah, so there's that too. Yeah, it mostly has to do with the parry, you know, and you know Ryu he has some problems against other characters when it comes to like the neutral. With his normal moveset. And that's why I feel that Ryu should be played as an aggressive character. You know, he has some good normals when he's close. But when I feel like you're playing the neutral guy Ryu, he has some lacking options. But he's a solid character, you know, he's got every tool he needs to win.
Yep.
Yeah, it really depends on Ryu will not carry you. You have to carry Ryu. And you know, Daigo himself said that he felt like Ryu had more potential than Ken. So that's why he's using Ryu. So, so we're putting him at B, and you could argue that he's an A tier character. I'm fine with that. So let's move on to Ken. How do you feel about Ken as a B?
Strong character. I think this is a proper placement of him. I don't think he's A tier material, but he is strong. Burst damage is insane. Corner aggression is really good. Like if he gets you in the corner, it's very tough. With all his options, he rakes up stun very quickly. So once you're within stun territory, it's like the overhead, the throw, all sorts of things. Like it's just very bad. EX Fireball being plus on block allows him to maintain pressure in the corner. So it's like,
especially after the target combo,
yeah. So basically, he thrives in the corner, and the mid range is like mediocre.
Yeah, see, he's got some problems with his normals as well.
Yeah, they're slow. They're strong when they hit, right? Because it allows them to, like, they're mostly his crush counter normals, right?
Especially on the plus side of his normals. It's really hard for him to frame trap properly.
Yeah. So a lot of the times his best tools for, like, the shimmy, frame traps and stuff leave him negative on block, like, -2-ish. Or minus, like, they would be punishable if done up close, but when space, you can't really punish it. That kind of thing. But that essentially ends his offense right there, and then you're back at neutral. So it's like he has to take these sort of gambles or risk to land a big hit.
Like you start to really see this when you see like Ken against like Nash or something, you know. Like,
yeah.
You really start to have problems once you get to that close range. He has to keep on the character, but if Ken gets them in the corner, man, they're in serious trouble.
Yeah.
Because Ken's corner game is like ultimate.
Yeah.
And when his V trigger is up, dude, like any hit is converted into so much damage without even using meter. But you know, Ken's got the tools too, like Ryu for sure. They are different characters. I'm happy about the design on both characters.
Yes, they're very different from each other.
Okay, next up we got Laura. So some people would argue that Laura is lower than B. Some people feel like she's one of the worst characters in the game. Like, what do you think about that, Killey?
I think it's just because she's underexplored by these people who say she's terrible.
We got Mr. Crimson like showing the tech.
she's a very technical character because you have to understand, like a lot of her normal stuff, they don't link to each other. So it's like, oh, you got to play her with a single hit confirm type style, and it's very difficult to do that, and it is. But she has all these setups where if they hit meaty, you're allowed to link, or if they counter hit, you're allowed to link into her other normals. That gives you a 2 to 3 hit confirm with Laura, and that's a very important aspect of her game. So it's very technical, where you got to hit on these exact late frames in order to link into other things. But what they can link to are really strong, because it's like fierce to medium or medium to fierce, that kind of thing. Her walk speed isn't the best. It's kind of slow, very hard to play footsies in that aspect. Her footsie normals aren't that great either, because they're kind of either slow or the range isn't as great. But she's a very momentum-based character. It's like Abel, right? Like Abel is slow, but has these good tools at certain ranges. And then once he lands these tools, he gets in, and then he mixes you up. Very similar style. The other thing is Laura has a fireball. It's actually a really good fireball. It's not a zoning tool, but it is a space control tool and allows her to approach the opponent. And that's very important. It gives her an edge over another grappler like our Mika, who doesn't have that.
So you feel like she's a hard B?
Yes.
Okay. Well, speaking of which, let's talk about our Mika. So our Mika is also a B next to Laura.
Our Mika is very... I don't know if gimmicky would be the right
But you feel like Laura is better than Mika, right?
I do feel Laura is better than Mika because she has better neutral tools, maybe not as strong of a mix-up game as Mika, so that's where the balancing factor is. But I'd rather have better neutral tools than a stronger mix-up game, because you end up riding or dying by that mix-up.
Yeah.
So Mika, very, very strong mix-up game. Probably almost first or second best mix-up game.
Like the V-trigger mix-ups too are very good.
Oh god, not just the V-trigger, but just her general reset game is insane. Every like certain knockdown that she does, anything off a flying peach or a command grab, a forward dash afterwards puts her plus frames. So unless you have an invincible reversal, you're literally guessing between a meaty normal, command grab, a regular throw, or if she decides to throw bait you. So you're constantly put in this guessing game after every reset she does. And she has tons of them, both mid-screen and corner. Coupled with her V-trigger, there's a lot of mind games she can play. There's a difference between like V-trigger into a simple left-right mix-up, because you can go wingless airplane and it crosses up. Or she can do a like tick grab scenario, or she can decide to charge the V-trigger, so that's the delayed release of the V-trigger of Nadeshko. And you're like, okay, I'm gonna block because I don't know if Nadeshko is gonna come out right away, and she doesn't, and then she command grabs you because you're sleeping.
There is like a tell, right, with her hands.
Is
if
it?
She raises one hand, it's fast. If she raises both hands, you know it's coming out slow.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's a tell.
Okay, there's a visual tell. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's important, because sometimes you don't see that and you're sleeping because you're thinking, okay, I got to block because Nadeshko's coming, and then she doesn't, and then she command grabs.
Grabs. Honestly, man, I can't beat any Mika players online. I get destroyed.
I can beat her in the neutral, but once she gets in, it's very, very tough.
Seriously, I get blown up on the stream all the time.
It's so tough.
Doesn't matter what league they're in, I get destroyed.
It's so tough when she gets in, though, because the reset game is literally it's a coin toss unless you have an invincible reversal, and even then she can start baiting it.
Yeah.
Right, and then it's like, oh great. So yeah, she's probably one of the characters I least like playing against, mostly because of that. She has a very strong mix-up game, mind game.
Meaties, man. That forward hard punch is such a sick meaty.
Oh yeah, it's really good.
It's so cool. Really
cool. All the right tools to blow up all the typical escape options against command grab characters.
I like her design.
I don't know if it's well thought out enough. It is very fun to play as Mika, but it's very aggravating playing against Mika when you're in that, because it's like, oh, you're guessing, right? You're guessing, and nobody likes to just flat out guess. It's okay. Like for me, I'm more accepting of guessing between high lows. And Guilty Gear or whatever like that. But then once you throw a command grab in there, you start guessing even more, and it's really annoying. I just hate command grab characters in general.
So why isn't our Mika, like, why is she only a B? Like, what's stopping her from reaching?
Her neutral game is very lacking.
Okay.
She has a lot of her normals are minus on block, so that effectively ends your pressure.
Okay.
Unless they're done meaty. So like she doesn't have that many plus normals, and the range of her normals are very limited. Drop kick is strong, but it's very easy to. With skilled players, they'll learn how to hit her out of the air, and they'll actually use crush counter.
Every time I try to like counter it, I get
it's so hard online.
Because online,
offline it's doable. Offline is doable. Online is very hard. Yeah. But you can crush counter her out of the air. If you crush counter her out of the air, you can convert into something afterwards.
I say Mika's A+ online, man. I'm telling you.
Oh yeah.
All of her weaknesses are so. I swear, EX Peach is instant. It's instant, man. Like, it's crazy. I don't know. Okay, Mika for B. Anything else you want to talk about Mika?
No.
Okay, so next up we have FANG as B. I personally did not want to put FANG on the tier list at all because I just don't know much about the character. But Killey, you wanted to put him as B, so.
For now, this is very underexplored right now because there's no data on, like, there's no playable version of him until final release.
Yeah, we didn't get to play him until way later.
Yeah, so he's probably the least explored character right now. For that reason. So not everything's really discovered with him, but what has been discovered is strong.
Yeah.
The poison mechanic is good. It's not overpowering, but it played out exactly how I called it from one of the older podcasts. Is you will get poisoned in the match.
Yeah.
No matter what.
Yeah.
The V skill, all his moves doing poison, and then the V trigger, because it played out exactly like I thought it would. It's like you get poisoned, you want to get in, but then if he V triggers, you get poisoned while you're within his vicinity, so you can't stay back because he's going to zone you or poison you, and then if you go in, you get poisoned. So no matter what,
no matter you get poisoned.
Yeah,
you're gonna have to be really careful how you balance that poison. If it's guaranteed, almost, right?
Yeah, so that's why poison does not stack, and it depletes at a very slow rate. But it is enough to be a threat. So you kind of have to play with the mindset of, like, you just have to accept the fact that you are going to get poisoned, and then you just play the match accordingly. You don't significantly change your play style because you're poisoned. You have to just accept that you're going to get poisoned, and you have to play normally. Like, you don't want to go in too hard to get rid of the poison.
It's not like you're standing in Dhalsim's V-trigger, you know?
Exactly. Yeah. You don't play too aggressive to get rid of the poison, nor do you play too laid back zoning, because that's not going to work. You just kind of play that mid-range game as you expect, that you normally would, and just ignore the fact that you're poisoned.
But if you are overly patient, then the FANG player will take advantage of that and just keep poisoning you.
Yeah.
So it's really cool. FANG's got some...
Got some very dirty setups.
He's got some mix-ups. He's got instant overhead, really reliable one. His forward hard kick is +1, which is really cool. So you can do some really good shimmies.
I really like the fact that a lot of his hits, his normals are 2 hits, because he is a charged character, and I feel like the 2 hits are done by design to allow newer players easier time with comboing into his charge attacks.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I can see that. For sure. His command dash that's not a charge though, the command dash, right?
No, it's a DP motion. DP with kick.
With kick. Okay.
He's got the coward crouch.
Yeah.
And then that follow-up attack is actually really good.
A big floaty jump.
Yeah.
Decent anti-air.
Very good anti-air, actually.
It can put you into a little reset situation, can't it?
Yeah, because you can cancel the first hit into the trap.
Yeah. Those reset anti-airs are really good in Street Fighter.
So good.
Very important to have.
Well, it knocks you down when it hits, right? So he cancels the first hit into the trap, so you wake up into the trap.
Oh, interesting. And then you can like what's it called? Command dash through it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, so not Nash, sorry. FANG, kind of have to see more exploration, see where the character is at. You know?
He definitely has some weaknesses to him. No defensive options. Normals are pretty good, but it's like slow walk speed, stuff like that. Like, he has these weaknesses that prevent him from being like super high tier, but we'll see what happens as he gets more fleshed out.
Yeah, for sure, man. Okay, next up is Rashid.
Another aggravating character to play against.
Dude,
Very fun to play as, but very aggravating to play against.
dude, the online meta right now is the light punch spinning mixer into the
The
EX.
EX mixer.
That shit's
So
so
stupid.
annoying, man.
So stupid.
Drives me crazy.
I hate it. It is an SF4 mind game.
It is the
that I
jury
absolutely-
spin wheel shit.
It is the SF4 mind game that I hate. There were so many special moves in SF4 that move people forward unblocked or like -2, and then you had to guess between throw, buttons, or DP, or like an invincible attack, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly what Rashid has. It's -2, so it's like I can push buttons if you're gonna respect it. I can go for a throw if you're gonna respect it, but if you're gonna disrespect it, I'm gonna invincible reversal your ass.
So you gotta like delay tech that shit. Hey?
Yeah, you have to delay tech.
Ugh.
So
And
when
that's
they
hard
don't
to do
have
online,
meter,
by the way.
yeah, it's like when they don't have meter, you can disrespect it, but when they do have meter, you have to respect it to a certain degree, and like it's really stupid. It should not exist, in my opinion.
Well, let's talk about the actual character though, besides the online meta.
Yeah. No, that's gonna be offline meta too.
His neutral game is kind of weak, right? Like
It's
the way
so-so.
his normals are,
It's
it's
so-so.
so-so. He's got a good projectile though.
Very good projectile.
Yeah.
Lots of frame advantage off of the EX version too, if you do it space it right. His crush counter normals are very strong, I think. Down fierce and forward fierce. Oh, sorry, not forward fierce. Stand fierce.
The second hit
stand
of
roundhouse.
the down hard punch, like that was a good buff they gave in that last beta.
Very good. Because I've seen one Japanese player, he like really throws that out there in mid range, and like it's usually the second hit that actually hits.
What do you do as a follow up after you crush counter? You go right into Eagle Spike, or
you actually have enough time to dash in and do something.
No,
if
really?
I remember right. But you can also cancel it into not cancel. I think you might be able to do some special like Eagle Spike or whatever afterwards.
or maybe
But
down
like
V skill probably.
I think I've seen people actually just dash in and do a combo afterwards. I think you have to use a light though.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like the fact that you can dash in and do something is pretty crazy in itself.
Yeah.
You can even cancel into V trigger if I remember right.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of things.
Yeah. Rashid, I feel like Rashid is kind of like Ken, where like you really want to get the opponent in the corner, and you can cause a lot of issues. And Rashid, it seems like it takes a lot of knowledge too. You really got to understand your V trigger setups and stuff.
He's a very underexplored character, and I think right now it's only Lamer Boy who's really got all this setup.
If Lamer Boy was the only Rashid player, then I'd put him up as an A for sure, because he just makes Rashid look so absolutely insane.
So nuts.
Yeah. Yeah, Rashid is just he's just one of those annoying characters to play against, and he's really fun to play as. But yeah.
He's like, a lot of people compare him to Forte in terms of like how he's just all over the place.
Would you say he's a momentum-based character?
Like
What makes Rashid a B? Like, why isn't he an A? Like, is it because of just like the way his normals, like his core design, like he just can't play a really strong neutral game? Like,
yeah, like that's kind of the thing. It's just like he's kind of like half ass in terms of like the style of play is, right? He either loses hard in neutral, and then if he gets that one opening, he can cause some havoc. But like his neutral game is a little bit weak.
Yeah, I think
He's got some decent normals. Like some of his normals move him forward, and then they're plus on block. But it's just like they're not amazing.
I feel like if the character is explored harder though, and like more people figure him out, I could see.
I could see him bump up to A from depends on what's discovered.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of potential.
Yeah, for sure, man, for sure. Okay.
He's such an interesting design though. Like the wind manipulation off of
the projectiles in the wind. Yeah, for sure.
So
really
sick.
Good character design, and especially since it's a brand new character.
Yeah.
I think Karin did a really good job of Rashid.
Like I was surprised you could like V skill midair after some specials or something like that. Like I've seen some people do like EX tornado in the corner, and then they do the air eagle spike.
Oh,
so
really?
I don't know if they're like V skilling or something like that. Like it's some really crazy stuff.
Oh really? I gotta catch up on some of the videos.
This is just this one combo video I saw from Richard Ewan where he's doing stuff like that. I'm just like, what? Rashid can do stuff like that?
That's really cool, man. Yeah.
And they're like double EX tornado combos, and you're like, whoa.
Yeah, where he jumps straight off. Oh
Yeah.
man, that stuff's so cool. Yeah, I hope we see more Rashid players in the final round for sure. Okay, Cammy.
Solid character, has some
Really easy to use, hard to master.
definite weaknesses though.
Yeah. She gets down back pretty hard, hey?
Yeah, but she's got a strong footsie tool set, but it's like it feels like it's hard to open someone up with Cammy. Like if you're on the offense, it's just really hard to open someone up. The V skill is good at throw baiting.
Yeah.
Not so much as a mix up, but just as a throw bait, it's amazing.
Like a tick into her V skill?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like you walk up and then you do V skill because you think they're gonna throw, and then they try to throw tech, but you do the V skill and then you hit them from the other side, and then she can go stand fierce like drill or something.
Yeah.
The dive kick is actually not that good. The EX dive kick is good, but the regular ones are trash.
Okay.
They're pretty bad. Like they're not active all the way down, so if they do it too high up, like there's a height restriction, and then if you do it too high up,
yeah,
there's a dead spot. Where they're not active anymore. So as a get-in tool, they're not that great. So I feel like she struggles getting in against people who can keep her out. And then once she's in, she just has to rely on like some frame traps, maybe some throw baits here and there.
She really has to.
She has to really
get a read on the opponent on his teching habits and his whiffing habits, because like. It's really important with Cammy to really bait those normals and to abuse the throw, because you need to open them up, right? She's all momentum. And,
her stand strong is really good though as a whiff punish tool. It's amazing as a whiff punish tool.
I think her crouching hard punch is really good.
Yeah, her crouching hard punch is underused by players, but it's really strong.
They're not using that more often.
V trigger is really good too. Her V trigger is amazing.
Yeah, if you hit check with Cammy standing medium punch into her crouching medium kick, those are two good long range normals for her to convert into, and Cammy online is like her teleport dash throw is like impossible to tech, but yeah, Cammy, I think her dive kick is being overused right now. Because Cammy players are trying so hard to get in. Like it's not like her jumping normals are that good, right?
Yeah, her jumping normals are garbage. They're not that great, and then her dive kick's not that great. So really, Cammy shouldn't be jumping. There's no reason for her to jump. She's got a very strong. You want to
turn the heat up, but you can't force it with her.
Like she has a really strong ground game that you shouldn't need to jump to get in. Like you should be looking at playing footsies, whip punish something into spiral arrow, and then you're in.
She needs a V trigger that gives her a command throw, and then then the real games begin.
No thanks, that's too much. She shouldn't have an overhead.
Oh man, no overhead.
No overhead, but her EX cannons. Her EX
use the shimmy with Cammy. I guess her forward
roundhouse is the shimmy tool because you can
V trigger fierce. Yeah,
so good. I've seen it done, and it's
really?
strong. It's strong.
And then Cammy, her crouching hard punch used to cause a crush counter, and then they nerfed it, and then the crush counter caused the juggle crush counter, and then they just took out the crush counter altogether.
Yeah,
it's one of the only characters with a single crush counter.
Besides her sweep. Oh no, Karin! They gave Karin a second one. Now that I think about it.
Yeah. So speaking of which, do you want to move on to Karin?
Yes. Yeah, she dropped off pretty hard actually.
Why do you say that?
She used to be like A tier in her old stuff. Now she's down to B. They didn't change her too much. Just I don't know. Like it just feels like the buffs to other characters makes other people do what Karin does, but better.
Okay.
Her Grenken mix-ups are very canned and predictable.
Okay.
Not so predictable, but they're not as strong. Mostly because you can actually jab her out of almost every offensive option. Like any offensive mix-up.
Okay.
You can jab her before the actual mix-up occurs. So the only way for her to counter that is to hard read it and use either the punch follow-up, which ends her Grenken, or the slide follow-up. Both of these will counter hit a jab mash.
And if you guess wrong...
And if they block it, you die.
You're dead. Yoga!
But if you go for a mix-up, they're going to jab you out of it.
Ugh.
Which is like not that bad on your part, because it's a single jab, right?
I can see it being annoying.
But it's like you go for this mix-up, you get jabbed out of it every time, so it's like, and that takes away some of your V-trigger meter you're going for. So the can mix-ups aren't that good, but you can confirm into like the V-trigger for a combo, like a pretty good combo extender, or you like play your regular game and then you use the Grenken as a combo ender instead. for more damage, and then like maybe you go for a mix-up afterwards, or you try to condition them to a point where your mix-up will work.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Justin's doing really good with Karin.
Yeah, it fits his style. I think Chun-Li fits his style better, but Karin also works well because he is a footsie-based player.
Great long range normals. You know, that crouch and hard kick, standing medium kick are really
Yeah.
good. Good comeback factor. And
Do you think? I don't think she has great comeback. I think she's like kind of.
well, I just like her standing.
A lot
hard
of
kick
things confirm into super, and the super does do a lot.
Yeah, I just feel like so many things convert to her. It's really easy to get her super off, and just like her standing hard kick into free V trigger confirm kind of stuff. You know, standing hard kick has the range of that is like deceiving.
She has a really good reset game in the corner, and sometimes mid screen. Requires meter though.
I feel like I see that Karin super like every time. You know, I just feel like everything all of her moves are like multi-hitting, really long time to confirm kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You know, maybe that's why I say that. Great anti-air.
No, her anti-air is kind of weak.
What, standing hard punch?
Yeah, it's not that great.
Really? Have you seen the hitbox on that thing?
It needs to be done at a range. If you're in cross-up range,
back hard kick, Dhalsim shit going down with that thing, man. It's crazy.
I don't know. I've seen it lose. Even when I use her, I see it lose.
Maybe in your worst nightmares.
The EX one's really good though.
Yeah.
The EX Rasenha.
Is that mix up? Like does she still have mix ups with the EX command dash and stuff, or they take most of that out?
No, you have to
I've seen
go.
it.
So you do the shoulder tackle.
Yeah.
EX shoulder tackle, which crumples. Then you do normal into EX command dash, and that's what crosses over. You can't do it normally now. You need the EX to cross
You
over.
gotta use a meter to do it.
So it's very obvious now, but it is a mix-up option.
Can you make it land in front?
No. Not that I've seen, anyways. But what the tricky thing is in the corner, she goes Tenko, which is the palm, the launcher, and normally a normal will not juggle in that state. But if you whiff a jab first and then you do a second, like you do a crouch jab afterwards, the second crouch jab actually juggles. And then you cancel that into the command dash, and you get a left-right mix-up.
Oh, interesting.
Corner only, though.
You know, one thing I really hate is when I'm playing Ryu and I bait Karin's EX reversal, she lands and I go standing.
She goes in a crouching state.
And then it whiffs. And I'm like, seriously? That's so stupid.
Vega happens with Vega. Like, basically, you have to time it perfectly. The only way I can get the stand roundhouse to hit on Karin after baiting the reversal has to be, like, frame perfect. If I'm off slightly, it whiffs. So rather than going for that, I just do a reliable punish combo instead. Like a reliable counter hit combo. Which is really annoying. Rashid has the same problem, too.
Man. Anything else you want to talk about with Karin?
No.
Alright, and the last B is Necalli. So we were kind of like bouncing Necalli between C and B, hey?
Yeah.
It's nothing against Necalli. Like I think Necalli definitely has good matchups. Like I think he's really good against Ryu. Insane burst, but I think it's that's back to the neutral game again. You know, like the mid game. You know, I feel like Necalli players are really fishing so hard for that standing hard kick. You know.
Yeah.
They don't got too many tools they can use. A lot of Necalli players are just hoping that the opponent is mashing buttons to get a counter hit. He's a frame trapping monster, but there's holes in those strings, you know, and I feel like it's part of Necalli's design to kind of be like a B character until he activates V trigger, and then he goes up, you know, and then he has the crazy dash and command throw.
Yeah, so basically he's intentionally designed with a weakness, and because he has an intentional weakness about him, it prevents him from being A tier. And it's not like the intentional weakness that, say, Chun or Nash or Vega or Dictator have. It's the fact that Necalli is just mediocre. Like, he has some strong tools, but, like, he doesn't become a complete character until he has V-Trigger activated. And it's very different from Bison, because Bison doesn't need V-Trigger activated.
And there's a lot of Necalli players that are like winning these side tournaments, and like a lot of people are finding really cool tech with Necalli with really amazing meaty setups and stuff, and very powerful damage output.
And like once he gets in, it's a guess between like the command grab,
and it's scary time.
Like that. It's very scary once he's up close, even without V trigger. But I feel like because he has the intentional design weakness, and his neutral game isn't as strong as other characters. He falters as a result.
But he can handle a lot of situations. He can handle zoning. He can
Yeah.
handle. He's got, like I said, he's got a DP, command, grab. He just, yeah, it's just that core concept. But you summarized it pretty well on why we feel Necalli is B. Like I said, we could kind of argue that he's C, but I don't know. So that's it for B. So there's only one character left. Which character did we not mention? That is our C tier character. It's a surprise. Who is it, Killey?
Zangief.
Zangief is our C tier character, our only C tier character. Now I want you guys to know that I love Zangief. I think he's one of the coolest characters to play as in this game. But on matchups alone, I strongly feel that Zangief is a C. I think he's got the most unfavorable matchups in the game. But he is an excellent character, and they designed him really well in this game. But I feel like he just gets pretty killed by some of the zoning characters for sure.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it. I feel like Zangief is one of those characters, once again, that you have to carry the character. Zangief cannot carry you. With the right reads, you can kill somebody in an instant with Zangief. You know,
once he activates that V trigger, right? Like a couple good, like one or two reads, and you win the game.
Yeah. So like, how is it possible that Snake Eyes is undefeated with a C tier character? Like I said, Snake Eyes is just pushing that character to the max out, and he's a very smart player himself, making the right reads, and I think Zangief complements him very, very well.
He's also very good at conditioning people. Geef is very good at conditioning people in general.
Yeah.
Once he gets in, the problem is it's a struggle to get in.
Snake Eyes was talking about having a pocket character, like he was thinking of Ryu as a pocket character, and I think as a Zangief player, even in Street Fighter 4, you always have to have a pocket character to deal with these matchups. It's just it's very hard to balance grappling characters. They have to have these bad matchups. And if you make them be able to handle everything, then you just have a really annoying character that you have to deal with.
Really, he wants to use Ryu as a pocket character? I think he should use Vega as a pocket character. I think Vega,
because he played Ryu, right, in ST.
Well,
HD remix, I mean, yeah.
I think Vega. I think Vega suits him better as a pocket character because his footsie game is so good.
Yeah.
Like not Vega just himself, but like Snake Eyes footsies.
Maybe he just wants to chuck plasma, man.
Maybe.
Sure. That probably is the reason. But Snake Eyes says he wants to play Ryu aggressively, not zoning.
Oh, interesting.
He wants to play him aggressively, like
that makes sense.
Styles, So yeah, I guess you could argue Geef would be a B. You could argue that, but me and Killey feel like he's a C just because of
too many bad matchups right now.
Yeah, and the fact that we need someone in C. Can't just have no one in C. So keep in mind, once again, guys, don't take this tier list seriously. If there's something you disagree with, for sure, let us know in the comments below. And keep in mind that this tier list is condensed. It's super condensed.
Anyone can win right now.
Like Chun-Li is A+, but it doesn't mean she's that much better than Zangief. It's close. And that's why we're seeing every character doing well in all these tournaments, because it is so close. And then I'm sure we're going to see a good diversity of characters in final round. And the game is, the game's out for a month. We're going to see a lot of changes. And this is just how me and Killey feel the characters are right now. And, yeah, it's really interesting how we change our lists like every podcast, See who goes up and who goes down.
It's been a lot of changes to the characters and the system mechanics, though.
Yes, definitely, for sure. And then where are we going to put Alex when he comes in?
Okay.
Can't wait.
Is he going to be third strike tier?
Yeah, we're going to have to make the God tier above the A+. Yeah, I can't wait, man.
I'm looking forward to Urian. I want Urian so bad already.
He's going to be like the last character out for sure.
I know, man. But that's the character I'm looking forward to the most.
I would be it would suck to have to be the one who has to design Urian. You got to do it right.
Yeah.
So
otherwise the salt would be unreal.
Yeah, the salt would definitely be unreal.
Rashid, please.
Well, as long as he remembers how to count, right? So,
yo, Rashid, you're a set play monster. You know how set play works. That's all you need. We need that Aegis Reflector stuff.
Yeah, I still think you nailed it with the Aegis Reflector idea. Like, you activate, and you can hold forward, down, or neutral, and it'll go mid, up, or far. And then you got a timer, and then every time you use it again, it will take away the timer to use the Aegis Reflector multiple times. And I think that's the best way to do it as a V-Trigger. He needs that Reflector. Like,
He needs Aegis Reflector. That V-Trigger has to be Aegis Reflector. There's no doubt about it. That V-Trigger has to be Aegis Reflector.
Yeah. Like, you could say super, but then you're not exactly guaranteed it.
No, it's not the same. It has to be the V-Trigger. Because it's like, Aegis Reflector is you see it every round, right?
Yeah.
In a third strike. So the only thing that will let you see Aegis Reflector every round is V-Trigger.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why it has to be V-Trigger. So it's either going to be a one-time use V-Trigger, or it's going to be like that timer thing, where you can use it maybe twice. Is probably how you would balance it. But you have to get the similar third strike, like mix up into a combo. You don't get that, it's not the same.
Oh man,
you don't have to.
I'm really excited for Guile, man. Not Urian, but yeah, Guile. I just want him to be a charge character, please, please. Any parting comments, Killey?
Final round hype.
I'm so pumped for final round. Make sure you guys do not miss out on final round. It's gonna be the sickest tournament. I cannot wait. So March, you said around March 18th or something?
Something like that.
Yeah. So it's around the corner, guys. Hype is around the corner. Alright, guys, so thanks for taking the time to listen to this podcast. Let us know what you think about the tier list and your favorite players playing whatever character right now. And yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Peace.